Hey, welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to talk about fixing a loose tripod plate on a Widelux F8. And this Widelux F8 has a loose plate, as you can see, and I'm going to try to fix it. These screws screw inwards out towards the outside, so the screws are inside the camera and I don't want them to be loose while the camera is shooting. So I got my tools, I got a little container to put the little screws in, I got some gaffer tape to stick the screws back onto the camera once they're tight. I should probably use some Loctite or some product like that, but I don't have any of that, so this should have to work. First thing we see is two flat heads on the bottom plate. So I'm going to open my screwdrivers. I have these screwdrivers which are not the best, but they do the job. I have these magnets which I use because they're not magnetized, so I put the magnets on the end and the magnetic field goes across the screwdriver and helps me keep the screws on the screwdriver and not fall on the floor. So first, let's take this off. I probably will only have to take off the bottom plate, so it'll be an easy fix. First one, second one, they're the same, that's why they're putting them together. If they were different, I would keep different containers. Now there's two screws on the front where the turret is, and no screws on the back. So now we need a Phillips screwdriver. I'll change the magnets to this screwdriver. And these are on the sides here, as I told you. So try to keep some tension so it doesn't break the screw's head. And then that would make it unusable, and I don't know where I could find any substitute for these screws. I'm not a technician, I'm just kind of like a handy person, so I don't recommend you do this if you don't think you're capable of. These are probably both the same, so I'm going to put them in there. They're shorter than the others, plus they have a different head. One more. You see, they keep stuck, they don't fall. If I take these magnets off, they could fall. Those in the container. I've had these screws fall on the floor before, and it's not a funny thing to happen. Now this plate is loose and should come off fairly easily. That was easy. This is the mechanism of the Widelux. You can see that's just the rewind, which pushes that pinion down and releases the rewinding. And then we have these are the spacers for the two screws I just used. They have some waxy kind of material. And let's see if I can find the screws that fell inside the camera. One's here, already fell out. One's on the tripod plate. As you can see, there's two missing. That's one. There's one inside, somewhere inside the camera. Oh, found the screw. The screw is actually on the mechanism down there. You probably can't see it on the camera, but inside there is the screw that we're missing. So it probably would have broken the mechanism, making it maybe unfixable. Where that little bush, like little cushion is there, that orange little cushion, which makes it stop. It has a little hole, so I can get the head out through there. And there we go, we got it. So that's what I didn't want to happen, but I got it out. I'll screw them back on the tripod plate and fix them with gaffer's tape, and that will prevent them from coming out again. And then I can just put the plate and the camera would be fixed. Get the plate in my hand so I can hold it. Tighten the one that's kind of loose. So that's tight. There goes the second one. Screw in pretty tight so we don't have any problem again, hopefully. So that's tight. Now these could come off again. So to prevent them coming off, or at least if they do, falling into the mechanism, I'm going to grab a little gaffer's tape and I'm going to put little bits of it just holding on the screws onto the plate. It's not pretty, but it'll work. So that's 1, 2, and 3. So that should prevent them, you know, coming loose and falling into the gears again. Add some extra tape. Just make sure it's properly stuck. That will probably stay there as long as the camera is still working. So that's good to go. You can see now the plate is fixed. It's not moving around. So now we got to go and place everything back on as it was. First, I don't need this off, so that can go back on. Now let's put the camera this way. So these were little spacers. So I'm going to put them back on there. 1 spacer and 2 spacers. Now the plate goes on top. Oh, wait. The rewind button. Now the plate just goes on top. Just like that. I'm going to start with the long screws, as they are the ones that hold those spacers to not move around. So put the magnets on this. Get 1 screw in there, another screw in there. That didn't go in. There we go. Now I just need to screw it on. There we go. Now it's in there, and now I just need to screw these inside. That one's screwing in, so that one's inside all the way. So they're kind of long, it's kind of hard to get them in the screws. So that's 1. Now this one just needs to fall just into place. Doesn't seem like it wants to work, so I'm going to see if I can move that there. No, it's going in. Okay, so now I'm going to tighten these as hard as I can. Remember, it has those spacers so it won't go too far. Now I just need the 2 front ones and the camera will be ready. So it's in there. Screw it in. I'm not going to tighten it yet. I'm going to get the other one in, just in case the plate has to go in a little further one way or the other. Let me put this in the screwdriver's head. Let me find the little hole. There it goes, and it's in. So now these just need to get tightened. 1 and 2, and the camera's ready. Tripod plate is now nice and fit. Let's see if it will shoot. That works. So now let's change it to 15. All the speeds work. Let's try 125. Yep. And now let's see if it'll rewind if I wanted to. The rewind works. Let me just check that everything's okay. Yep. Back on. Okay, so that was it for today. I hope you learned something. I'm not the handiest person ever, but I managed to fix this problem. This plate will probably never come loose again, and if it does, the screws will be stuck to the bottom of it. That will prevent the screws going into any of the gears and jamming this camera and probably breaking it forever. This is a hard camera to fix, and I did a minor repair. If you ever have any other bigger problem, I will leave a link below with a website where they do fix these in the United States. So I hope you enjoyed it. See you in the next video. Thank you.